Coming up on Mountain News this morning, a new law aims to prevent adopting for parents who have lost custody of previous children. And part of a community wants to see change at what they claim is a neglected apartment complex.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. A woman is dead after a crash in Laurel County. The sheriff's office says the crash happened on Kentucky 638 near Johnson Elementary School just after 2:30 on Wednesday afternoon. Two vehicles were involved. The road was closed about 3 hours but has since reopened. Police say 64-year-old Edith Taylor of London died. A 7-year-old was taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. And we are hearing from rescuers who were at the scene of a deadly ATV crash in Laurel County on Tuesday night. Two teenagers were riding a four-wheeler when it ran off Naniva Road about 6 miles east of London. 14-year-old Caleb Morgan died. The other teenager involved was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Members of the local rescue squad say it's important to learn to ride an ATV in a controlled environment where it's safer.
Sometimes we don't think about that. The riders don't think about that. We think we get keys and hop onto the ATV and have fun. There's more to that, and of course to that safety side of things.
Morgan was going to attend North Laurel High School as a freshman next school year. School leaders say their crisis response team will be available to meet with students in the wake of this loss. We now know the name of the teen who was killed in a crash in Wayne County, West Virginia. According to our sister station in Huntington, they say the family has identified the victim as 17-year-old Raglin Painter. Painter died in a rollover car crash that involved several vehicles Tuesday. A petition for Maya's Law hopes to stop parents who have lost custody of previous children from taking newborns home. Mitch Carter takes a closer look at the Kentucky death investigation that is serving as a catalyst for the petition.
I can't go buy a car if I didn't pay for my last car, can I? Right? I can't go adopt a dog if I was found of animal abuse. But how come I can leave with a brand new baby when I lost my previous ones?
Like so many others, Eric Williams waited as Kentucky State Police searched day after day for missing 8-month-old Maya Rudd. When it was revealed that her body was found in her parents' home, wrapped in plastic and a blanket under debris, it got Williams and others thinking. How was it she was allowed to be taken from the hospital if her 3 older siblings had already been taken away from her parents by the state and placed with family?
We know sources are limited. We know, the state and local government resources have, constraints that they're fighting against, but we make exceptions for things we can do. We try to resolve things the best we can, and I just didn't feel like this was something that we could slack on.
So his petition advocating for Maya's Law was born. The idea, according to Williams, is to prevent parents who have lost custody of previous children and not been able to regain it from taking home newborns. Now, according to the petition, there needs to be a plan in place to make sure these parents are clean, able to pass drug tests and court-ordered programs to gain custody of their children back. With nearly 3,000 signatures, Williams says he doesn't know what's going to come of it just yet, but it's clear that he and several others have the exact same goal.
I just want them to make the law. You can never be 100%, right? You can't fix everything. There's always going to be things that fall through the cracks. There's going to be issues. But situations like this, where this clearly should not have happened, it has to be an everybody kind of community effort to say, no, that's not okay.
That was Mitch Carter reporting. WYMT's sister station, WFIE, was told that Maya's umbilical cord did test positive for meth, but Kentucky State Police said the results of the test did not come back for several days. Troopers say at that point they believe social services was looking to remove Maya, but that never occurred. A McCreary County man is facing charges after police say he threatened to shoot deputies in the face. It happened yesterday after officials with Wayne County Dispatch received a call from the man's wife saying he was suicidal. When deputies with the Wayne County Sheriff's Office arrived at a campground area, the man jumped out with his hands in the air. Gary Baker was then tased before he was taken into custody. We've learned the man at the center of a high-profile murder involving a UK football player has been arrested again. According to court documents, Shane Raglin was arrested on charges of domestic violence and terroristic threatening for an incident that happened June 15th in Frankfurt. Raglin was convicted of the 1994 murder of UK football player Trent DeGuro. That conviction was later overturned, but he pled guilty to a lesser charge of manslaughter. He was released for time served, but a series of charges and court appearances have followed in the years since. A nurse has pleaded guilty to illegally writing prescriptions in exchange for cash without conducting proper medical examinations. The Herald Leader reports 47-year-old Sarah Parman pleaded guilty in federal court to a charge of conspiracy to distribute pills outside the scope of professional practice. Parman was an advanced practice registered nurse who owned Parachute Recovery Centers in London. She faces up to 20 years in prison. She is set to be sentenced in October.
And temperatures this morning, mid and upper 60s, lower 70s, a few degrees cooler to make your way over into western portions of Virginia. And yes, some clouds out to our west, some clouds right along the Appalachia Trail. Otherwise, in between for us, we're mainly clear, just the fog issues limiting the visibility across portions of the Commonwealth today. Up to 92 with a high in Hazard. More about the 7-day forecast in a few moments. Olivia?
All right, Tim, thank you. A community member recently started a petition asking the Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter president Tony Vaughn to resign. Kelly Hudson says her reason was due to things she has seen circulating online. Vaughn says he has worked hard to ensure the safety of the animals during his time as president and says he has been honest and will continue to be honest about the shelter and what they do.
I just want to show the truth, expose everything for what it is, let the people decide, use your common sense, quit getting caught up in the fever of Facebook, come down here, volunteer, see what it's like, feed an animal, pet an animal, walk an animal.
The shelter is temporarily closed to the public due to a request from Vaughn for state officials to come in and investigate the situation and help with guidance moving forward. We have much more about this on WYMT.com. One Johnson County community is begging for change, asking someone to be held accountable for what they claim is a lack of oversight and accountability at a Paintsville apartment complex. WYMT's Buddy Forbes talks with the tenants about their frustrations.
The open sign may be on display, but tenants in need at the Mayfair Village Apartments are met with an empty seat.
And now, we don't even have a maintenance person, as far as I know. And it's like it's almost impossible to get stuff addressed.
When concerns arise with plumbing, electric, or other issues, those who live on the Paintsville property say they are left to find their own solutions.
Over a year, I have text messages of me reaching out to the landlord and being like, hey buddy, hey bestie, yeah, my toilet won't flush, or hey bestie, my downstairs apartment's a lake. The black mold all over my bathroom, my kitchen's caving in.
The management group for the property is out of state, and they say they rarely see the person they believe to be the property manager.
It just makes us mad because we're like, what we do, you know?
Claiming to deal with mold, leaking pipes, broken air conditioners, and no access to their laundry services.
Run the place like it should be. Get somebody in the office, for every day that's supposed to be there. Get a maintenance man that's supposed to be here every day.
On top of the reported ongoing issues for the longtime tenants, new tenants say they are moving in to find their apartments need more than a little TLC.
It's not livable condition. Just a lot of maltreatment of people and the fact that no one's doing anything.
While they say they do not want to cause trouble, they believe something has to be done, since most of them are low income or rely on government assistance to make ends meet.
At this point, any step forward would be great and be more than what we've got.
Saying they feel stuck, hoping for someone to step up. In Johnson County, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
We have contacted the management group, the man who tenants say has been managing the property, and the Department of Housing and Urban Development regarding the claims, but have not received a response. Jackson County Public Schools has a new superintendent. Renee Smith has been announced as the Jackson County Board of Education as the school's next superintendent. School officials say Smith has 25 years of experience with Clay County Public Schools, including 13 years as a classroom teacher. A Southern Kentucky firefighter who was hurt during a fire is back on the job. The London City Fire Department says Brandon Buckner resumed his duties yesterday. He was one of 5 London firefighters who had to be treated after getting caught in the backdraft of a fire last month. He was flown to UK hospital after the accident and returned home earlier this month. When we return, an old country legend is still on tour setting records at 70 years old.